Yeah, go ahead. You start. But I thought you might have a stand for this, and because remember, you used to be very like anal about like don't touch it.
Well, people didn't like that. People before were like, I don't like not being able to touch it, and they were like, didn't know how to use this just as much as the other thing. We can't get a
Idiots.
mic stand.
Why?
For you if you
Why? Why
I
change
have a mic
your
stand if you
stuff
want.
because of idiots?
Because that's what I was getting on the pod, I guess. No, not
Just idiots on the
top.
There's the real gossip.
No.
I just don't know how I'm gonna
just
do my
it's hard for
makeup
people
with
who
mine.
aren't pros. You're a pro. I get a lot of people who aren't pros sometimes. You want a mic stand? Get your mic
Yeah,
stand.
because I want to put some makeup on.
Pause.
Yep.
Yes, test.
Let's do it.
Okay.
Let's do it. Hard out at 6.
Hard out at 6. I know that. Janae Burris.
Or before.
Returning your triumphant return to left-hand right brain.
Triumphant return.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Well, a
that's spelled.
triumphant return is more like
It's been a while.
you went
It's been
away
a long
to
time.
war or something, and
I mean, I've been in the trenches of Denver comedy.
I didn't know you were still
rose
making
above.
these.
Yeah, you came out of the muck and the mire, and I've been in there just doing my thing.
I didn't even know you were still doing comedy. I haven't run into you. I didn't know
You
you
don't
were
come to the
still doing the
mics?
podcast.
Yeah, because
Why are you
you're at
going to
Comedy
mics?
Works.
Who cares about the mics?
That was supposed to be your triumphant return music.
Oh, I thought you might add that in post, but okay.
It's all live, baby. Live.
This is live?
I mean, live recording.
Okay. So you need a soundboard where you could just push the button and be like, sounds.
I have access to the whole internet right here. And
Right,
it's
but then you got to
basically-
search it and stuff. You need
You
like
still
a
have to search up triumphant
you could,
trumpet.
if you put you could have celebratory stuff. Stuff that's
There could
anyway.
be, yeah, I mean, there could be more things, yes, but it's not bad.
Okay.
Thank you.
I mean, it's your show. Whatever you want.
Thank you. Yes. I missed this. This is definitely what I miss.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. I don't get enough humbling at the mics anymore.
You
know, 'cause you're
don't?
not there.
Who's at these mics?
Kids, you wouldn't even know their names.
Okay.
You know, all these young kids now, Janae, they don't respect me as a comedian. You know, I
They
used to
don't
say,
respect you?
I know Janae Burris, and they're like, we're too young to even know who that is. I'm like, go to Comedy Works.
Yeah, that's the trouble with people right now. They're all like, "Oh, I'm at the mics." Like, why?
Why? We got to work on our craft so we can get to a.
Should be watching pros.
I mean, at a certain point, I think that would benefit them. Yeah.
No, now. The
Now?
point is now, early in your career, so you don't develop a bunch of bad habits. Because when you just go to mics, you're watching other people who are at mics.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, I mean, I don't know how you can learn. It's like a third grader trying to teach a third grader how to do math. Like, go watch some of the sixth graders, man.
I'm like
or
a
something.
super senior. I've been there forever. I'm like the oldest guy at Lions Lair a lot of the time, or like the
Ugh,
comic who's been
Lions
doing
Lair.
it the longest.
You're doing the Lions Lair,
yes,
Mike?
I got.
What is the benefit?
I gotta get stage time. I'm not doing
that's,
anything.
That's all it is. It is stage
yes, I need
time.
to keep sharp. I need to kick the rust off.
That keeps you sharp.
Yeah. I'm not getting shows like you. I'm not getting booked on things.
I'm telling you how, but you're
go to
shooting me
Comedy
down.
Works?
I said go watch pros
Pros at comedy. Well, where else would you see pros?
at booked shows.
Okay, so go to shows.
Go to shows.
I don't.
If you
want to
get booked on a
like
show-
me, like I don't think Kelsey
Well,
Rosen
then
likes
there's
me.
your problem.
Yeah, there's that.
Why don't people like you? I've always wondered.
I guess I just don't put up with a lot of shit. You know.
Okay.
Thank-
Sorry, is this a camera? My eyes. I had something in my eye.
Yeah. I mean, I'm definitely not putting up with a lot of foolishness that I think.
What foolishness?
Just comedy foolishness. You don't know what you're so out of it.
No,
you don't remember
I mean,
how
for
much
real, JD, tell me what the hell you're talking about. I'm giving you sound advice,
Yeah.
and you are countering my sound advice with this bullshit. So I kind of
So
want to
just go to
know.
more shows.
Go if you want to get booked on shows, you need to go to the shows.
Okay.
If you want to continue to do open mics, then keep going to open mics, and you'll get more open
I guess
mics.
I'm thinking like my material needs to get better, and that's where you go to work.
No,
on
it's
it, right?
not. It's
my
not.
material's not going to get better.
That's not where you go to
Okay.
get your material better.
Okay.
That's where you can go to work out to talk about new shit that is not proven yet.
Yeah,
Just to say it out loud.
that's I
You
can
you
go for
got
that
30
a lot.
people out there, only 15 are listening. 2 in the back go, ha,
Yeah.
write it
that's-
down. Say that kind of works. I mean, that was not a bad idea. That was in the right direction. You listen to other people at the open mic and you're like, shit, that's the same subject I'm writing about. That's hack. That's the same angle. I'm not even going to do that joke. That's what you could do at an open mic. You're not going to be able to do your A material at an open mic and tighten your A material at an open mic. So you should go to shows, watch other people. Sometimes you'll get a guest spot just because you're there.
Yeah, yes, that's happened every
If
now and
it's
then.
a person, if the booker is a person you want to work with, introduce yourself. Maybe come in.
Yeah,
I don't know. Before you ask a person to do their show, go watch their show.
Yeah, a lot of kids are asking these days too. Like, it's like I've heard from multiple showrunners that it's like all these kids are asking for stage time way more than they used to back in the day. Like, I remember when I started, everyone was like, "You wait to be asked," and now everyone's like, "I need 5 minutes so I can start sending it out to people." So,
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, it's a different.
Start your own show then.
I do. Comedy Save the Video Star. You want to be
your
booked
own
on
show,
it in November?
Are you doing material on that show?
Yeah, we do jokes and then we riff over the music videos afterwards.
Okay, I'm wondering if it's helping you in the ways that you want to be helped, which is to book more shows.
I mean, I do my A material there. When I host, I do like a set up top, and I'm always doing my good material, so I haven't really mixed that up a lot.
And
but I mean,
don't you have regulars that come to that show?
No, not really. And then, well, we moved to Western Sky. We're not at Mutiny anymore, so I think the last time you did it, that's where it was at. But yeah, and then we riff over it, and yeah. So there's some booking things where like you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. There's some understanding there, and that has helped me get booked here and there. But I mean, the bookings I do get are usually through the podcast, actually, like getting people on the podcast, and then.
A lot of people are doing that, doing a podcast or having a show where people can come do your show and then you go out of state and those people book you. Yeah, all of that works too. I just don't think that open mics are the best place to figure out if your material's really good. I think it's a great place to throw a little shit against the wall and see if any of it sticks.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, because I'd be too nervous to try stuff not proven stuff at a show.
You sandwich it.
Yeah. So like last night, I got off early at work, hella early, Thursday night, and I went to Monkey Barrel to the mic. So you're saying I should have gone to a show?
If you can.
Like a Comedy Work show would have been last night.
Comedy Work show. I'd let everybody know that those shows were free, and you could always go to a Comedy Work show, but y'all need your little 4 minutes of stage time. So I hope that helped you.
I mean, no, it was terrible. I waited till at the absolute end. He shut the barn doors to the garage doors to the outside where there were a couple people at least. So I talked to the 2 comics that were waiting for their sets after mine. Yeah, I mean, yeah, maybe there's something there. Maybe I needed some of this tough love. Yeah. I mean,
thanks for the maybe.
No, thank you. Should I play the trumpet music?
Can lead a horse to water, but you cannot make
I will that horse
get funnier.
Yeah. But you did your one woman show. I wanted to talk about that.
Yes. What's a one woman show? Oh, what one woman show?
The one you did that you recorded a couple months ago, before you had your baby.
A couple months ago. Thank you for saying it's a couple months ago. It was way longer than that. But yeah, I was just taping an hour. I did some stand up mixed in with storytelling.
And you did that at
I was at the Aurora Fox in their studio space, which they hadn't really been using for shows for a little bit. Well, through the pandemic, they started, it was classes, rehearsals, and storage. But I feel like I was the first one to kind of crack it back open. I actually was just there Sunday doing Moms Unhinged in that same space, and they had their next show up. They have a play going on in that room. It's a great space.
Because it's a theater that usually has plays.
The theater is like 250, and then the studio is like 70 or 75 or something like that.
And you sold it out a couple nights.
Yeah, but I mean, I took up some chairs with cameras, and yeah, it was nice. It was supportive friends, and they brought their friends. It was really nice.
Yeah, and you talked a lot about, your fears of being pregnant and having your baby, things like that.
Were you there?
Yes, I was there. I wasn't there every show, but I was there.
Okay. Yeah, I was having a lot of fears.
I mean, I talked to you afterwards, but I get that, there's a lot happening for you.
Sometimes when you come to shows, you just quietly
Me.
appear afterwards.
Okay.
And so it's hard to lock into my memory which shows you quietly appeared at.
I'm at all your shows, Janae.
I know, just
so you know,
lurking.
I'm
He's back
always
there somewhere.
or just in your heart.
I
went to
I wonder if
your
JD's here.
first. I mean, I thought about that when you headlined Comedy Works recently as well. I went to that.
Oh,
that was your first headline. You don't remember? I came up to you at the end, and I was like, I got there early, and then I saw other comics coming in, going to the green room. But I'm always scared of what to do.
At downtown or south?
Downtown. It was the very first one you did.
I don't remember any other comics coming.
I saw a couple go back there, but I was like, that's your time to prepare.
Yeah, and with I had the baby,
thing.
so it's a little chaotic in my green room.
Yeah. So
it's not that fun.
Was it bad etiquette to leave you alone? Because I remember going back there one time when Adam Kane Holland was headlining, and Wendy showed up and was like, "What are you doing here? You're not supposed to be here. Like, this isn't like where new comics." And I was like, "I just came in. Like, I thought, I know these guys." And Sam T let me in from the back, and I feel bad for name dropping him, but she was like, "You need to go out." Like she got all, and I was like, "Damn, this is not how I want her to remember me."
She won't remember you. Don't worry.
Good.
She doesn't remember you, but
first impressions.
Nah, don't worry about it. Well, that's kind of comedy club etiquette that you don't necessarily know until you know. Now you know.
Well, I'd gone back there before, and it never been an issue. And
right.
Adam was cool,
and it's rude to go back there, actually, unless the headliner invites you back there, because it's a small space. They are trying to. Sometimes for me, when people just come back there, and I'm trying to get my head in the game, I can't. I don't really want to chit chat right before my set. I want to figure out which jokes I'm going to do, but I will end up chit chatting because it's a lot of times it's a person you like, it's a person you love talking to, but it's not a great time to do that. And comic to comic, we should respect that.
So I did the right thing by not going to your backstage, by going to your green room.
Yeah, it was chaotic in my backstage. You don't want to be there.
Okay.
It's just pure chaos.
Yeah.
I'm like holding the baby and they're calling my name. I'm like, somebody hold that baby.
Should took it on stage. You don't want to show.
You know,
almost came to this podcast.
Yeah. I take them everywhere.
Congratulations, I guess I should say first off. But I was there, and then I waited till the end for everybody else to say bye.
I remember.
And then you tried to sell me some soap.
Did you not buy it?
No, I don't have any money. I'm sorry. Podcast ain't paying as well as I
don't have money for soap.
Yeah, you were selling breast milk soap, right?
Yeah, you missed out.
Because you're done?
Yeah, I'm weaning.
Oh, okay. Not that it's not a judgment or anything. I read this book about breathing, and they're saying that a lot of facial development comes from breastfeeding. So like the way your nasal and your jawbone gets structured as a kid, comes from suckling. Sorry, I'm doing weird hand motions. I'll stop.
Oh, okay.
So you should probably do it till they're 5.
Oh, you think it helps?
He said, the guy in the book, it's called Breathe, was saying because that helps their facial
You're reading a book
development.
about breathing.
Yeah,
interesting. Yeah. And it breathing for real, not breathing as a metaphor or meditation or just like focused on art. It's for real breathing.
Yeah,
all right.
It
is the most important thing.
That's what he was saying in the book. But I heard him on a podcast, and he was talking about breastfeeding. He was like, "No, I'm just a journalist, like reporting on what I've heard from experts and stuff." And he's like, "This is where people get really up in arms when he starts talking about breastfeeding." But do you feel any judgment about that as a mother, about like breastfeeding versus not breastfeeding?
Well, they've changed their sort of they being, I don't know, the government and whoever's talking about breastfeeding and WIC, women, infant, children, the government programs regarding feeding children. It used to be breast is best, and now it's changed to fed is best.
Just eat.
They're like, feed the fucking baby. Feed the baby. Because it's what I didn't know before I started breastfeeding. I thought the choices were breastfeed or not. Breastfeed or bottle. I thought those were the choices.
Yeah.
I thought that was the reason people weren't breastfeeding was because they didn't want to. But now I've learned that some people are not able to. Some people are not producing enough milk. Some people did it for a couple months and then they stopped. They did their best. Some people get, what do you call it? Mastitis or something? Like you get clogged ducts and it's very painful and it's just not working out. You end up being very sick yourself and it just doesn't work out. or maybe you're on some medications that you don't want to deliver to the baby, so you can't. There's lots of reasons why people don't breastfeed. And besides the fact that our government really pushed formula for a long time.
Yeah.
They kind of push it. I mean, it was a lifesaver for women for sure.
Yeah.
It's a lifesaver for people who couldn't breastfeed. It was a lifesaver for people who had to go back to work. It was a lifesaver. Then I think it kind of got to the point where they really push Enfamil on you. They push powdered milk on you, and you have to be like,
subsidized by
I
the
don't want
government or
any.
something. So they were like, here, take it.
Take it. You never know. Give it a try.
Yeah, it's got corn
Supplement.
syrup in it.
You can do breast milk and that.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's probably way sweeter.
Oh yeah, for sure.
That's all your baby gets hooked on sugar, but it doesn't matter. Eventually, he'll find his way to sugar.
Oh yeah. I mean, it's hard to avoid.
I heard about some
so
people, they are like raising their kids who never had sugar, but it's like that kid probably hates you when they get when they discover sugar. They're like, what?
Yeah, they're gonna hate you.
You mean I could have been happy?
Yeah,
for even just a brief moment.
Yeah, I'm addicted.
Lenny Kravitz doesn't eat sugar though.
Yeah, that's a guy of extremes for sure. Yeah, you can compare your baby to Lenny Kravitz a lot now, because he's half Jewish, half black, right? It's
not a lot. It's one joke I got about Lenny Kravitz.
Okay, I remember the show having a lot of Lenny Kravitz. Maybe I really latched on
maybe
because I do
like you
Lenny
liked.
Kravitz. Yeah, I'm like, what? I know that guy. I mean, Lenny Kravitz is pretty cool. Okay,
I think people agree.
No,
the consensus is yes. He is cool.
Yes. Leonard Kravitz. That's what Pete Holmes has to joke. It's like, I remember Lenny Kravitz's name is Leonard Kravitz. That's how cool he was. He overcame that name.
Yeah.
Leonard.
Yeah.
But yeah, you bring in a lot of facts and things about being pregnant and giving birth in your one woman show.
Black maternal health.
That I didn't know.
Dwell on.
Yeah. You want to talk about any things that like shocked you, or I mean, like the
death
rate I thought was crazy.
I taped it a while ago.
Is it
I need a little
available?
bit of money. I need some money to finish editing it.
Okay.
If we just had a lot of cameras and two shows, it's just a lot of stuff to edit.
Yeah.
We got a first edit from this editor, a friend of a friend, and Ron is my producer. Brandon Carter was the director, and I guess Ron and I were also co-directing because he was the, what do you call it? Brandon's running the cameras and all of that stuff. And I'm giving the vision of like, I want it to look like this. So I don't know. Anywho, us three, we're collaborating, and the edit wasn't kind of what we wanted, but it was something. You know, there's so much footage. It's nice to have somebody just put it in order. But a lot of it was like, why do you use that angle? That's just my butt. I'm telling, why didn't he put it around here? Just stuff like that. He's not a comedian, so if he were a comedian, he would know this is the better angle to get the punchline, stuff like that. So, yeah, maybe you could look at it. It's
working with what you got.
So much material.
Yeah,
I don't even know how to get it on your computer.
So yeah, it sounds like it'd be a big hard
drive. If you had time, I'd love it if you looked at it.
No, I'd like to look at it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, it's a lot. It's a beast.
It's a beast, and I'm feeling quite nervous about the shelf life of it. We can cut some stuff out. Some people are wearing masks, but it's still like that actually in the audiences. You have a handful of people wearing masks. Masks. It's one of those hard things for me to do. But yeah, I'm concerned about the shelf life. I think that I really like how it looks, and it was a special time, and I needed to get it on record.
So did you approach the Aurora Fox about doing it, or did they like, hey, do you have anything you want to do?
Oh no, I approached them.
Yeah,
because I had done like 3. I did a few plays there, and sort of last minute before I was due to give birth, I approached Ron and I was like, let's do the special. We got 4 weeks to do this. Let's do it. And Ron was like, okay. And we considered Ron Doyle.
Okay.
And we considered Buntport, but they had something else going on in the space. And we talked about different spaces. And because I'm from a theater background, I had imagined a theater so it could feel theatrical.
Yeah.
And it does feel that way. It feels
Like black box.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It feels different than in a comedy club. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
the laughs don't crescendo like they do at a comedy club, but the tender moments, the stories, people are leaning in, and
Yeah,
I
yeah.
liked, and I watched a lot of specials in preparation just to kind of get an idea. And one I really liked was what is it called? It's not Nathan Rothaniel. It's Michael. I'm telling you, after this baby, I don't even know words. It's really Jared Carmichael. God, I was gonna say Mark. Jared, yeah, Rothaniel or something like that. What is it called? Rothaniel. So I kind of liked something about that. I was just talking to Mo Welch about it. She directed Beth Stelling's new special, and I asked her about this, and she was talking about how she really liked it. And what I didn't like was his outfit, but it is sort of hearkening. The shirt is Richard Pryor wore a red Lucy shirt like that.
Yeah, yeah.
I didn't like his shoe situation. And I love that he was sitting and being really intimate, but the chair is like a folding chair. It feels like a last minute idea.
To have a chair.
But also, I bet it wasn't a last minute idea.
Right, right.
So why make it look like a last minute idea? You know, like Bill Cosby, I know it's hard to, we don't always bring his name up, but
Scandal noted.
He's a scandal noted. No compliments coming. Don't worry. No, I'm not going to compliment it. I'm just saying he's a person who regularly sits.
Yeah, yeah.
But he's got a proper chair to sit in. You know, a folding chair for Gerard. Is it Gerard? It's not Jared. It's definitely not Jared. Gerard Carmichael. I liked how intimate it got. I thought that was really lovely. Because so many of the specials I watched, they were just going for the yuck yucks. And it had such a rhythm to it. Everybody's like, it's just like rhythm and tempo. It was all the same. Same blue curtain. Just wasn't that funny. Earthquake, his special was funny. And David Spade was really funny to me. David Spade's, his looked basic. Big curtain, big audience in a theater, wearing his jeans, button up, regular. But something about his jokes, he delivered them with ease and they were very funny. Earthquake works a little harder on stage, but he's always funny. And it was nice to see that energy on a special because he should have gotten a special decades ago.
Yeah, it's a name I've heard forever.
It's wild who's getting specials today and who should have gotten specials before them. Like they're putting a lot of young people up and it's a little bit boring. And they're doing kind of short special. They're doing 10 minutes, 15 minutes. It's like, well, is that all they have? Do they only have 15 minutes? But somebody like Earthquake, he really should have had, a special where they really paid him and really gave him his flowers years ago.
Yeah. Well, with yours, I was curious, because it is like artsier than just a classic comedy special. You're bringing the theater.
I thought it was more theatrical.
Yeah, you're bringing
my favorite thing in the world that led me to writing for myself was John Leguizamo's.
The clown.
Why can't I Freak? Is it Freak? But that was something that I really loved when I was younger and I watched it. That was something that cracked my mind open about which direction I wanted to go.
Yeah.
Well, just the direction that I wanted to go in for my art career. I just was so impressed and so mesmerized. And so I don't do that on stage. I'm not at all claiming to have that type of energy and skill at all. I do my own thing. But the vibe of it, I feel like a theater audience is really smart. A lot of the people in the audience were my friends from plays and theater. And it suited me, I felt like.
Yeah. No, I knew you came from the theater background. That's where you went to school for acting.
And it just looked really good. Aurora Fox, they, donated the marketing for me. They didn't charge me for the space. I just had to pay for the workers who worked that day. But even the
union.
Well, I had to pay for the camera people separately because they don't work there.
Gotcha.
But I like the people who sold sodas and opened the door. You have to pay those people who are in the space. But the lighting designer and he did, the tech director, they had worked with me, and so they hooked me up.
Yeah, that's cool.
And
That they believed in you.
the person who did the sound, he was really great. I don't know if he did it below his regular rate or he did it for free. I should know his name. But all these people are really talented people who are friends of Ron and friends of Brandon who were being supportive of me. I really appreciated what they did. Can't wait to get this produced or not or edit it so I can put all their names in the credits and give them all thanks, because it was really lovely to have access to people with real talent and skill. Aaron and Hannah from Buntport listened to it and helped me with some writing and punch up. Just people were really great. People were really great about it, really supportive. So I was like, also though, when you're pregnant, people are pretty nice to you.
Oh yeah, is that
I think that's why my mom stayed pregnant for like 20 years. People, everybody told me that everybody's going to be nice to you.
Oh, really?
Just enjoy it.
That was a thing.
Because people don't know what to do. They see you with your giant ass belly sweating and ankles swollen, looking out of breath, and they're just like, let me at least hold the door, take my seat, eat my food, anything, because you look.
That's a good bit right there. It's like wanting to keep people, treating you like you're pregnant, but not actually having to be pregnant.
So what's the bit part? You just get fat? I'm just getting fat for the.
You always kind of stick your belly out maybe when you want someone to hold the door open.
Yeah.
You
I'm
act
pretending.
like it.
Yeah, I just hold my back.
Yeah.
Rub my back.
Yeah, the back is good because you got to arch.
Waddle a little bit.
Yeah, maybe just mention it out loud a lot. But I mean, I guess that's a way to keep the material evergreen.
This
if you get pregnant
bought
again,
me candy
boom,
at
re-up.
This lady bought me candy at the dollar store. She was in front of me. It's an older black lady. And I was buying a few things, and I was towards the end of my pregnancy, and I had my belly out, like skin and all. I didn't really do a lot of it. Well, I had like a cropped shirt. I think women are cuter than they know. When you're pregnant, you really struggle with your body changing, but you're really adorable. Wear your little stomach out. You look back on pictures and it's like, yes, you're as big as the Kool-Aid man, but wear that belly out, honey. Go ahead, because when it deflates, you ain't gonna love it. So enjoy it.
Yeah.
But I had my belly out because it was towards the end and it was summer, and it was one of those things where people are like, let me buy that for you.
Nice.
She's like, when do you choose? Like, you almost do. I'm like, yeah, a couple weeks. Let me buy this for you.
No,
people are very sweet.
Yeah.
People are not so sweet. First trimester, nobody knows you're pregnant, but you're sick. This is when you need people to be nice. Nobody knows you're pregnant. They're just like, why are you frowning? Why are you leaving? Why do you keep going to the bathroom? Why are you so mad? It was just like, everything stinks and I want to puke, but I can't.
Because, I knew you when you first moved to Denver. You were, hungry comedian coming into the scene, swinging, I felt like, doing your thing. And then you went through your hot girl summer. I felt like, there was a, I don't want to say glow up, but you definitely were out there, I feel like. And you talk about that in your special, like you were out there, you felt you're feeling yourself.
So funny. I get nervous about like what material I'm still using because I haven't watched the special in a while, but I'm not using that anymore.
Okay. You're not feeling it as
I'm
much.
not feeling it.
No, but you're going through hot girl summer and then boom, you get pregnant.
Yeah.
I mean, was that hard? I mean, how was that? Because I mean, the Janae I knew I didn't know if you wanted kids or not. I don't know. How was that?
I didn't.
You weren't expecting.
Wasn't trying to get pregnant.
Sure.
I was playing a little fast and loose. But with my previous partners, we were together for so long. At some point, we were kind of like, if we get pregnant, that's fine. We're probably going to get married. Didn't marry either of those guys, but the idea of having a baby was thrown around. This time, that was not at all what we were trying to do. We were just having a good time. And I talk about it in my set. If anybody wants to come watch it, I'm kind of stupid. I just didn't think I could get pregnant because I had never been pregnant before. And,
you're just like, I got this far.
I have. Yeah. I was like, I think I'm done. I think I made it. I made it. And it was like, no, you didn't. It was right there. You were so close. But yeah, I was loving my body. I was having a good time. But the pandemic kind of was weird. Everything got weird after the pandemic. Like if I had not had the pandemic and I just kept, I would have probably not had a baby because I moved to California and then I was moving back and I was breaking up with my ex and there was all this stuff going on. So I don't think that stuff would have really went down like that. But it's
Yeah, yeah.
hard being a parent, but I miss him when I'm not with him.
Yeah,
So
yeah, that's how it goes, right? Yeah, so you probably keep him at this point, huh? You had a message for your future child when he, is growing up and he's looking back.
for my
Anything
future
you want to say?
child, for
Yeah.
him in the
Yeah, for
future,
him in the future.
there's
Yeah.
no future
The other
child.
kids, not him.
There's just the one. Message for him
Yeah,
about
if
what?
he's looking back and seeing like, what did mom do? Blah blah blah. And
Oh, he'll
he's
see all of
obviously
it. He's
looking all
gonna
this
see all
podcast.
of it.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
will know everything. I hope that he's just a little guy right now, just a pre-toddler. But I hope that throughout his life we can be friends and be cool, and he'll accept my advice and he'll trust me as a person he can talk to. It's like that's just the kind of relationship I'm
Yeah.
hoping for.
Okay.
I hope that he's not a person who's like, I can't stand my mother. I don't even want to go.
I mean, all kids go through that phase, though, right?
Yeah, I heard that actually as a teenager that it's a hormonal thing where you're supposed to push your parents away because you're trying to become your own adult.
Yeah.
And you may not be trying it, but you're so irritated by the sound of their voice because you want to be autonomous and you want to be an adult.
Yeah, yeah.
And you don't need some other you can't help it. I remember when I was a teen and it was like, stop talking to me. But anywho. Looking back on it, yeah.
So you hope
My
you're friends in the
apologies.
future.
My apologies to all the adults in my life.
Oh, for giving them shit.
Yeah, I think they all know. They all know. They did the same thing. Everybody says you get payback. So if I was acting nasty, that means one of my parents wasn't very nice to their parents. So
yeah. So you saw the John Leguizamo stuff and you wanted to kind of model your one-woman show after.
Well, I wanted to do it's odd to me that you refer to it as a one-woman show because I don't feel like it falls solidly into a one-woman show. I am one woman. I did go back and forth between stand-up. I was two people at that time.
Yeah.
I don't know because I did a one-woman show in college in the same style of Broadway style, like just all fiction.
Okay.
And me acting as different people and switching between. His wasn't all fiction. His was some, storytelling from his life. I didn't have access to all that yet. I was in my early 20s. I just didn't have access to real personal stories at the time. I took some stories from, people I knew and create. Anyway, that felt like the one-woman show. I wanted to be like him. So as an adult, a real adult now, and a stand-up comedian, I tried to bounce back and forth between telling my own real personal stories, the stories that I haven't been able to make jokes about yet. And, as we edited, we kind of went through certain stories and was like, I'm sorry.
It's all right. Professional.
As we edited, we saw sort of a theme unfolding. So we got rid of some things that didn't fit the theme. So it became clear that I was really talking about motherhood. And so it was like, well, cut out this story about your dad, cut out this story about, your boyfriend. We don't need that. Let's just streamline it. So in my special one-woman show, the stories that I get into are just stories I actually remember from childhood regarding mothers, a story about my sister. Yeah.
Yeah, I guess I just think of because it's more than just a comedy special. I think comedy special, down here, and you're doing something elevated to me. I guess that's why
I hope so.
I'm elevating it to one woman.
Well, thank you, JD. I
play.
appreciate you for that.
Yeah, well, you did all the work.
Well, I'll let you watch it and edit it, and you might think differently. I don't know. You might be like,
we'll see what
something's missing.
But I feel like a couple of comics have been trying to follow in your footsteps a little bit after that because didn't former Pussy Bro, Chrissy Buckley, and then another comic, Steve AJ, didn't they do one person shows?
I didn't know Steve did a one person show, but Christy, yeah. She wasn't following in my footsteps.
Well, just someone in the scene that they saw do it, I guess. I mean, she wasn't like, I'm going to be like Janae.
I don't know if I inspired her at all, but she's got a really interesting story to tell.
Sure.
It's kind of heartbreaking. And similar to me, not all of these stories fit into your stand-up. Not yet. you haven't yet found the angle to make it funny. And her story of being a disabled child, it's I think it's great for people to hear that insider perspective, because we make a lot of assumptions about disabled people.
Yeah.
And especially children. She had a lot of assumptions made about her and a lot of demands put on her and a lot of expectations, sometimes low expectations put on her. Her show is about how people didn't really ask her. They didn't really treat her like she was a whole person. They just did stuff for her. They didn't ask her if she was in pain. They just took her for the surgery. They didn't ask her if she was scared. They just left her alone. So it really tugged at your heart. But she's mixed in some comedy and stuff in there, and she's working through it and editing it and changing it, and hopes to take it to Edinburgh and all that.
Oh wow, okay.
I would totally take a one-woman show to Edinburgh. The show I did cannot be repeated because I am no longer pregnant.
Huh?
I know. I keep thinking about having a second one, so it feels fresh. I'm like, I just tape this.
Just do it
People
again.
are wearing masks because I didn't want to get sick.
Yeah, just put on a bump. You're like, I'm acting. You're an actress. It's a character. No, you wouldn't feel authentic to you?
But that's another thing I talked to Christy about, how we struggle with the desire to be authentic, and it's not really necessary.
The artist in you wants to
be true. The artist in you wants to be authentic and real and honest. And the seasoned comic in you says, make this joke funnier.
Yeah.
Even though that part didn't happen.
Yeah,
that part didn't happen. This whole part happened. At the end, that didn't happen. But the funnier thing would be to say that this happened. So,
I mean, I know a lot of people talk about, Bert Kreischer stuff being not true, not fully true. Just, comics do sacrifice a lot for the joke. And that's something I've butted up with as well, just as like the aspiring artist in me or whatever.
But Bert Kreischer also, not everybody tells personal stories.
Yeah, that's true.
So there's a lot of people who are not lying on stage, but they're not even talking about themselves. So
right.
It's like, that's their opinion about abortion.
Sure.
Some man talking about abortion because he has a clever punchline. It's like, great, bro. Nice.
Well, who's the comic that just got in trouble for like completely fabricating certain stories, like Hassan Minaj or something like that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, you like totally. But I mean, he was like showing pictures of this lady's face and stuff. Like,
no, that part wasn't a lie, was it?
Yeah, I heard like that was a lie. Like she didn't.
Because he like
really
plays the Buell Theater and all that. Like
he's coming to town soon, huh? If he wasn't just here, I do remember.
I think he was here like a year ago. It's time to come back.
Yeah, but like the story about that white girl he almost went to prom with, but then she like was there with a white guy. Apparently, that was all made up.
Oh, because that story is very sitcom about being brown. It sounds like a scene you would write in a sitcom about being brown, but it is also a thing that happens to people. I feel like maybe even Troy Walker had some similar incident like that. I don't know. Maybe I'm making that up. What's real and what's not anymore, I can't tell. But yeah, wow. But that was a major part of his special. Yeah. So did he just blow up a few facts? Maybe it wasn't prom. Maybe it's just this girl that he.
Political commentator and host of the show The
Can you hear it?
Act, Hassan Minaj, has found himself in an ethical controversy about allegedly lying about very sensitive topics in the jokes he's told. Like this story about an undercover FBI agent who allegedly infiltrated Minaj's local mosque in 2002 in the wake of the 9/11 attacks.
I was 16 years old. It's 2002. I'll never forget this. So I'm a junior. And during fourth period, my dad pulls me out of school.
Man.
And he takes me to
all the
Friday
details.
prayer, and I'm in the back of the mosque. And in the middle
16,
of the sermon,
I'm a junior. Fourth period.
Ripped white guy shows up to the mosque.
Ripped white.
Bald,
oh my
shrapnel
God.
Neck, barbed wire tattoo. Dude, he looked roided out. It's like.
But see, that right there, maybe that is the guy he saw before.
Yeah, sure.
He just made that guy the FBI.
Yeah, but this story goes into like that guy beat up his dad or something, which I guess doesn't happen. Or we can listen to it.
I'm here to convert to Islam. And my dad's like, Hassan, you see that? It's a miracle. That's the power of Islam.
I like his outfit.
Yeah, it looks good.
Blue
I
eyes
don't actually
strong.
like the. I
He
like
wants to be
what is that,
a
monochromatic?
Yeah,
I'm like,
monochromatic.
But I don't love the shoe.
Yeah, you're focused on shoes, huh?
Is a
I like it.
You
I
should
like it.
focus. You should wear a nice shoe for
Hey.
performance. Sometimes I wear dirty sneakers for a particular reason. It brings you
Draws
down.
the eye away.
No. It makes you relatable. It makes you.
Oh, interesting.
You know.
I wear boots. I like the brown boots.
Sometimes you want to dress it up. I dress up sometimes for fundraisers and stuff like that. And back when I first started comedy, high heels and cleavage, and I was trying really hard. But now it's so casual. It feels to me like I know what I'm doing. I didn't need to wear fancy shoes. I know
It's
what
a
the fuck I'm
confidence
doing.
thing.
Also, I know I'm up here on stage, but I'm very relatable. Look at my dirty sneakers. People often come up to me after shows and like, ooh, I like the Chucks, I'm from LA too, and we connect on that.
Yeah, that's cool.
I don't wear these in real life anymore though. I have some foot issues after the baby. They're terrible.
Oh damn,
These
sucks.
shits have been effing up my feet for decades,
Oh, interesting.
and now I am paying for it.
You wearing insoles?
Well, first I just bought several pairs of Skechers. They're much more comfortable. And Shauna was telling me I need to go get like some real
Because they have
insoles
yeah.
Where do you go? The running store or something like
yeah,
that?
you can get some basic ones like at a
I'm gonna
Red Wing
see
store or something like
A
that.
podiatrist soon.
But yeah, they'll
and
give you
then
the
I'll
good one.
find out.
That'll be a
Let's see if I can get
doctor
them through my insurance.
That'll be some Medicaid, level shit right there.
Yes.
Janae, come on. I talk to these young comics about fashion all the time on this podcast.
Yeah. I like your shirt.
Thank you.
I like what you're doing.
Thank you. I appreciate that. We've come so far. But yeah, so we're here.
With The New Yorker, Claire Malone confronts Minaj about onstage stories that she was unable to verify, with Minaj defending his statements as emotional truths and stating that the punchline is worth the fictionalized premise.
Ooh.
Unverified stories Malone discovered include an anthrax poisoning scare for Minaj and his family.
I would have
a comedian's
said
scary visit to
not the punchline is worth the fictionalized. I would have done a real story with a fictionalized punchline.
Right, yeah. I think that's what most comics do.
Wow.
Yeah, so yeah, this...
I have this story
not good for him.
I'm telling right now. I'll tell your listeners. Exclusive.
Thank you.
This is for your Patreon people. So I tell this joke about this woman coming up to me in a Whole Foods and asking me if I was or saying good on you for nannying. Those were her words.
Okay.
Good on you for nannying. And I go into the story and I say that I pulled out my boob and started nursing my baby. And, because then people see something like that and they understand, oh, she's a very expensive nanny. So that's just a punchline. But so I've been playing around with how to deliver it all. I did not pull out my boob and nurse the baby. So initially I was saying something like, I should have pulled out my boob. And then one time I said that I did do it and it really hit. It really hit. And then the next time I tried to say, okay, that's how the punchline goes. I'm just going to say I did it, but I didn't feel authentic. So I didn't say it properly. I tried it a few times. I'm like, I don't like this. You're a liar. You didn't fucking whip out your boob.
Yeah.
Okay. Like Mrs. Mabel. Mrs. Maisel, first episode, they had her tits out. I was like, no way you'd pull your tits out.
Now I'm watching. No, I'm just
It's the first episode, season 1, and it really bothered me because it's a funny show that I love. And
I never got
no
into it.
lady comic, I don't think, would whip out her tits her very first time on stage, especially if she's married and in the 60s.
Right, yeah.
There's just that shit wouldn't happen.
Sometimes it happens at Lions Lair. You should hang out.
I can imagine some drunk woman being like, "Ah!"
One woman in
but that wasn't
particular
what
does
she
it
was
every
presenting. She was telling jokes and having some real moments, and the whole episode was beautiful, and they get really into Jewish culture, and then she pulls out her tits, and it just didn't suit her in particular. And she had lovely tits, and what I thought was like somebody knew she had really nice boobs. I was like, we gotta get these on camera. Let's not let this pass by. She's a fine actress, but look at those tits. And good for her. I wish more people had pictures of my tits before the baby.
Okay.
What was I talking about?
Well, you were doing that Eggland's Best joke though, pre-baby.
Oh
so
my God, I've been doing that
like,
for 100 years.
So I was
Eggland's Best. I forgot that one. No, so many of my jokes, they just evolved and like I've moved them around.
That was just such a funny specific
Eggland's,
egg thing.
I thought
it was so funny.
So many of my tags and punchlines, I don't remember. They just come
that
and
baby
go.
Took it from you every time.
Yeah. Oh, but that story I was telling about the lady at the grocery store. So I say that it was Whole Foods. I say that I pulled my boob out. I'm working in this idea that I'm newly working in this idea about being on Zoloft and how Zoloft keeps you nice and even, where I can't respond. I can't yell at people anymore. So Zoloft won't let me. And that's real. And so I try to make this connection that, the Zoloft wouldn't let me yell at this lady. So I just pulled out my boob and nursed my baby.
Yeah.
But in reality, it wasn't a Whole Foods. It was a Trader Joe's. That matters.
Really? It seems like a lateral move to me.
No,
Okay.
because Trader Joe's is of the people.
Is it?
And Whole Foods, mentally.
Okay.
Yeah, and it's cheaper and it's different. It's like, what if I said it was an Erewhon or whatever? If I said this woman at Erewhon, first of all, what am I doing in an Erewhon?
I don't even know what that is. I would go King
It's
Soopers.
nowhere backwards, and it's the most expensive grocery store that you can go to.
Okay.
It's disgusting. I've never been to it. I just
Do
saw
we
it
have one here?
in Denver. No.
Yeah. Okay, I was like,
Why? Maybe in Aspen. No. But anywho, so I wouldn't say an Erewhon because what am I doing in there? And these people might not know what Erewhon is.
I had no idea.
But Whole Foods, people have a preconceived. We can all get on the same page about Whole Foods, even though we all shop at Whole Foods sometimes. We go to the hot bar and get some bullshit for $30 and regret it.
The cookie bar.
I love the cookie bar.
I love the cookie bar.
I love what's good is the dessert bar. $2 for like cheesecake. I'm like, when are they going to figure out that is the wrong price?
Hopefully never.
Hopefully never. But yeah, sometimes I go in like, cause I want to eat something that's not McDonald's. I'm like, anywho, I digress. You know that I digress. What time is it?
It's almost 5:30.
Yeah. Anywho, so the story was actually Trader Joe's and not Whole Foods. I never say the race of the woman. I think everybody assumes she's white. She's actually black, but I don't tell people that.
Yeah.
And I noticed this kooky bitch from across the Trader Joe's because she was the only other black person there. And I was going to tell her that her dress was tucked into her panties or something. But as I got closer, I noticed that she just had on brown leggings, which is like,
yeah, it's weird.
Why would you wear the same color? Like, you look naked. You look like naked from the waist down.
That's what she's going for.
And she also had white people dreadlocks, if that makes sense to you. Some people will understand that. Yeah. Okay. Like wrapped with some other hair or something. Like it wasn't kinky and it was weird, not cute they look like temporary dreadlocks. Like a hairstyle more so than a lifestyle. But anywho, so I got close. I was like, oh, those are brown pants. And so I just passed her by. And then I went over, was looking at the cheese, and she comes up to me, good on you for nannying. And I was like, my head, I think I was just starting Zoloft. So I was like, Murr. And I just turned to her and I said, I'm not the nanny. And then I kept looking for cheese, and she goes, did you adopt?
Damn! Like, she couldn't accept it was your kid for some reason?
I didn't adopt. The Zoloft had me like,
yeah.
I didn't adopt. And she was like, oh my God. I'm so sorry. I'm a nanny too. And I'm a nanny. And I just thought, oh my God. But she was so fake. It was like, why are you doing this?
Yeah.
She was a kooky bitch. And so I didn't get mad because I didn't want to give her the satisfaction. I was like, you're a kooky bitch trying to start something with me right now. And I don't get into that part with the audience because I'm talking to white people and I don't think they can truly understand that this kooky black bitch was doing something, like trying to have a moment with me. And I was just like, okay. And she was like, I'm so sorry. Oh my God, he's so handsome. And I was just like, thanks. I just didn't give her anything. I was like, okay. But on stage, anyway.
You make it funny.
I make it funny.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Instead of what it was, where it like annoyed me, is what it was. It's just like, don't talk to me. It made me also feel like the black people in Colorado are so fucking weird. Just like,
because they're trying to start something.
They just don't have enough black friends, or they don't visit their black family. I don't fucking know. Not all of them. I met some really cool people. A lot of them are not from Colorado, but I'm just kidding. There's some cool people in comedy. They're comedians though, but these other kooky ass black people on the streets.
Don't like them, huh?
Mm-mm.
Interesting. All right. Well, I know you got to start getting ready for your show.
What were we supposed to talk about? Is this what
this
we were going to
is
talk
it.
about?
This is
how the
everything.
podcast
This
still
is-
is. I thought we were going to gossip a little bit.
I mean, I did get in trouble not too long ago, so I've been trying to reel back on it. But I mean, anybody I'm talking about, you
we
don't
could talk
you don't know
about that,
anymore.
about this idea of trouble, JD. The idea of trouble. You're
I
a
guess I
grown ass
don't
man.
want. I don't want none. So I'm trying.
You don't want none?
Don't want no trouble.
Oh.
Yeah. So I'm trying
Well, my issue with that situation is that I feel like you got bullied into taking it down. You have every right to chit chat on your fucking show.
Yeah.
It's like, are you a fan even? Like, you remember, like Dave Chappelle talks. Do you remember that part of Dave Chappelle's, one of his specials where he kind of talks about how people, well, the punchline is like, keep it in the comments. Keep it in the comment section. Like, don't come up to me talking about, I don't like what you said. Did you even buy a ticket? Have you seen me before? Are you a fan? Do you watch my stuff? Okay, then keep it in the comments. I feel like that. Is this person a fan of yours? Does she support you? Did you suddenly do something that she's like, oh, that's not JD that I know? It's like, no, you're just somebody. Keep it in the comments.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I do know some of these people personally, so it's just like,
Nah.
yeah.
And you won't know them in 2 years.
I thought about it,
But yeah, you're a nice guy, and I have
Thank
a
you.
reputation for not being nice, even though I am.
I think you're nice. I
I'm
feel
real.
Like sometimes, yeah. I feel like I try to be real. We're just two real people.
Real.
Yeah.
J-Lo.
I can't do the.
Not real.
I can't do the. Was that Busta Rhymes in that one? Oh, who's the other guy? The way you move, the way.
Ooh,
you
Who's got that voice? Wait.
Yeah,
It's
is
not
that Busta
Nelly.
Rhymes?
It's Is it Nelly? No, it's not Nelly. It's the Ja Rule.
Yeah. Okay.
Fire Festival. I was gonna say Fire Island, Fire Festival. Don't start no rumors about Ja Rule on Fire Island.
Yeah, Ja Rule. My bad. Did I just sound like a real Busta saying it was fucking?
People that grew up with her are like, ain't nobody call her Jenny from the block. Get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah, well, we'll let you get ready here. I appreciate you coming down before you do your headlining show. I know it's just the norm for you.
I
but
would
it's
love
still
it if at
very-
the end of this episode you could post a lovely photo of me.
at the end.
So people know.
Yeah, send me one. Well, I mean, anything I pick, I don't want to give you any room for. I'm just being real. I'm just being real right now. And if you want a nice picture of you, you gotta send it to me.
If any of your fans have money, I could really use some new makeup. Look at this shit. It's broken. Come on. Also, I'm looking for a stepdaddy for my baby.
Oh, really? A stepdad? What happened to the other guy?
His dad's still there. He said it's cool. He could use the help.
Oh, okay. Okay, good.
I talk about that on stage. I think every child should have at least 4 parents.
Oh, wow.
It's hard.
Sure.
If he and I were married and then got divorced, then I could send my baby over to his house and do whatever he does over there, and then come back home and
Yeah, sure.
we could share. People have some really cool. My stepdad's really
people.
cool. I mean, he married my mom when we were already adults.
Well, if the other
Well, he's
person got
cool.
real possessive, or like it started trying to teach him something you didn't like,
Yeah, you can always meet
there's
assholes.
that. Yeah,
Yeah,
for
there's
sure.
that. Well, that wouldn't work out, JD.
Okay,
That wouldn't be an ideal situation.
sure. Fuck, I was gonna say something.
Can we gossip about celebrities? It's always tough because
Well,
you're
the
like,
Hassan
I might
thing is
work with
crazy.
them.
You didn't hear that?
No, I heard a little bit of it, but I didn't know it was as extreme as what you just said. That is shocking
Very
and
made up.
scandalous. It's scandalous because I'm not a huge fan of his comedy. It doesn't make me
Yeah.
laugh a lot.
I just knew he was on the Daily Show. That's
Yeah,
like-
yeah. I think he's good at what he does. I'm just not a huge fan of it, and everything is not for everybody. But I recognize that he's an artist and a performer, and he's doing well, and he got some juice when he was young and worked it.
yeah. I
And
mean, we're all playing. a
maybe he
game.
just ran out of stuff to talk about. It happens.
Yeah. I think it's like someone who's like, you're talking about all these younger comics getting specials, and it's like, do you have enough material, or is it real? You know, I think he's someone who gets these opportunities. It's like, I got to fill this time somehow.
Right.
You know, and he knows the climate. He
And
knows
it
like what
kind
to
of
hit.
sucks too, because like a lot of older people are not being given these opportunities, and they have stories.
Yeah, yeah.
They have real stories. They have actually lived. They lived in a time before fucking cell phones and the internet. Let's hear these stories. But they're not being given. They're not cool enough to do, Comedy
Netflix wants
Central,
the new
or,
young thing, or the HBO wants,
or they want
fucking-
the hugest thing. They want Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock,
Yeah.
or some other rich dude who's out of touch. You know.
Yeah. The only thing I've been listening to is like comedy podcast gossip. Like I know one of the big podcast like people who is networks that was paying people. Like he's recently getting called out for not paying people. Like
Oh.
the Brendan Schaub show.
They said he
all
was
those-
he was paying people, but he actually isn't.
yeah, he had like minimums that he was meeting, but he wasn't paying people for like their full. Like he owed like Brendan Schaub like $3 million, and like Theo Vaughn talked about him on his podcast. You know, because
People were going in about Spotify at some, because people do get into bad deals.
Yeah, yeah.
And you think you're supposed to be getting 3 million, but it's like, read the fine print, baby. You don't get anything after this amount.
Yeah, yeah. I don't. Yeah, you got to have AI go through all your contracts.
That's smart. Yeah, the contracts for early podcasting, I think a lot of people got screwed over because nobody had any idea how big it would get.
Right. And like this guy was really taking advantage of people not knowing or
Yeah, it's closer to the what do you call it, music industry than it is to comedy,
for sure.
in the way that it operates on the money side and the contracts and yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't, all my.
You got new tattoos?
Oh yeah, got these. Boom.
You get your wife's name on you?
No.
Why is that
we
funny?
both got matching boo twos though right here.
Matching who?
Boo twos. This ghost that says boo on the bottom.
Boo twos?
Yeah, we call them boo twos.
Why is it boo two?
Because it says boo on the bottom.
No, I get the boo.
But they're tattoos. There are boo
Oh,
twos.
boo twos.
Okay.
That's cute.
Thank you.
I don't know how you tricked this girl into marrying you.
I'm charming. I could be charming.
I mean, you tricked her.
You thought I was charming when we met, and then
Did I?
I think so.
Have I ever said that word?
No, but I could see it. I mean, we kept hanging out, so I was like, there must be something. She must think I'm charming.
I had just moved to town.
Well, that's part of the charm.
Limited choices.
Yeah. Well, once you got some
He's
choices,
like filling the demand.
Like, yeah, you need some minorities? I can do that.
I was like, this one's very light skinned for her.
Yeah.
But
it is Hispanic Heritage Month. Thank you for coming on. Bienvenidos. I know Marcelo will be happy.
Oh, Marcelo, where's he at? Is he okay?
I hope so.
I was chatting with him through the pandemic, and we would message, and he was supposed to come out to my taping, but he didn't come. And I know sometimes he doesn't get out that much. Yeah. But I have not heard anything from him in a while.
Yeah, Marcelo, reach out. Let us know you're okay.
Marcelo, are you okay?
I hope so.
But
yeah, happy Hispanic Heritage Month to everybody. Thank you so much, Janae, for being on. You can catch her at Comedy Works all the time.
Can you put can I do a real plug?
Yeah, I was going to say, hey, however you want to end this podcast. I will say, be excellent to each other. Wakanda forever. And I'm not just saying that because you're here.
Okay.
Go back and listen to the tapes. I say it almost every episode.
I will not.
Okay. Yeah. Could you guys please give me a like and subscribe on some of these stuff? If I wanted to make, if you want me to be able to edit Janae's special to have the time, I got to get rid of my day job. So that requires you guys subscribing. I went back to doing the short buses for RTD, the Accessorites.
I didn't know you were doing that.
I did that, pre-pandemic.
Okay,
cool. I got furloughed.
That's cool.
It's taking up all my time. That's why I'm no longer producing Katie's podcast or Let's Get Drunk and Talk About Your Wedding anymore.
Who's Katie?
Katie Bowman. She has a podcast about scary movies.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody gets too busy to do them regularly. I want to do my podcast, but I need money too. You don't have the time to
You
do it
gotta
for free.
live, and you got another mouth to
I need
feed.
a babysitter. Can I say that?
I need
Look
a
at me.
babysitter.
I need a baby because my family's not out here, and that's been one of the most difficult parts about having a child is not having family support. My friends are very supportive, but most of my friends have the same schedule as me.
Yeah.
They're all comics. They work at night, so I need some coverage. Shout out to Chanel and Nancy Norton coming
nice.
through. But if you know some decent sitters who like, really energetic,
What if
precocious
I
children.
became your baby's nanny full time? You have to pay me though.
How much would you charge?
We'll have to discuss it. $2,000 a month. Is that too much?
It's about how much daycare costs.
Well, I mean, I'm there.
Let's talk.
Okay. I'll swaddle it.
Let's talk.
Okay.
You have any experience?
Yeah, take care of kids.
The way you said it, yeah.
Yeah, it's a casual nature. I'll come wearing
Dog,
shoes.
kids, whatever.
I'll come wearing chukkas or whatever, That's how casual and confident I
Chukkas?
am. Or whatever those shoes are called.
It's like, is that Spanish? Chucks.
Chucks.
They are Chuck
Yeah,
Taylors.
they're called chukkas in the Latin community.
I'm like a Mayan.
Yeah, that's what the
Chukka.
Mayans called them.
They're chuckas. Made out of corn. Maize.
Maize.
Maize?
Maize.
He's half white.
All right. Well, yeah.
Like my baby, half
do your plugs. Or is the tribe considered white?
Excuse me?
Isn't that what they call the Jewish community? The tribe being part of the tribe.
The tribe.
You should look it up. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to talk about the Jews on this.
Okay.
Got all of that out. Any references to Jewish people?
Yeah. Wait.
I
to
do not.
expand
I do
the whole
not.
word. The second time you said it.
You don't want to call them the Jews. You want to call them Jewish people.
Okay.
They are the tribe, the chosen people. But please cut out anything referencing Jewish people. Thank you.
Okay. And give your plugs where you want people to come find you. If they want to see you do some
please go
stand-up.
to JanaeBurris.com, and I try to keep my calendars up to date. If you want to see me at Comedy Works, I usually have some great promo codes to get you some tickets. So come, bring friends, make it a party. I'll be at Comedy Works tonight, which just ain't coming out tonight. So what do you care? November 15th, I'll be at the Downtown Club headlining. I'm going to headline at Looney's the whole weekend for the first time.
nice.
November, I believe it's 3rd and 4th. So Friday and Saturday. I'm doing Looney's contests on Sunday. I'm doing 3 shows. One of them starts at 11:45. What? I'm going to do the Haha Harvest in Portland, which is really cool. That's going to be kind of like around Thanksgiving, but please go to JanaeBurris.com. Also, I asked people to follow me at Negative Negro on Instagram and then scroll back a couple of years so you can see what my body really looks like. Thank you. Also, what do you think about Negative Negro? I've had 1 or 2 friends say I should change it. That it makes white people uncomfortable. And I was like, I can't be in charge of what makes white people uncomfortable.
Yeah,
You never
I mean,
know what makes white people uncomfortable.
That's true. That's true.
You can't go by that.
Yeah, part of me wants to say at a certain point you have to start considering that, or you're never going to make it to a certain point, or you just dig in and be like, "This is you." I do think Negative Negro fits you, though.
It is me.
Yeah,
it's not just a handle. It's a lifestyle. And I think when people like me, they just go ahead and follow. They just do.
Yeah, I wouldn't say it's like negative stuff you're posting, but it's just like
Well, apparently
a
white
way of
people are
life.
weirded by the word Negro. It's like, it's your word.
Oh, I
Just
thought
kidding.
they were more triggered by the word negative. Actually, that was my thing
Maybe.
because they can't handle.
I have
it.
no understanding of it. I can't see it from the other side.
Like white people. You mean? Maybe ask your baby daddy.
He's Jewish. Don't bring
Well,
it up.
that's the same thing. Same thing. All right. Sorry if that was offensive to the Jewish
Ixnay.
people.
On Friday.
Ixnay on Friday. All right. Well, thank you so much for being on, Janae. I do appreciate it. Your triumphant return. Thank you so much. But yeah. Should have found a better clip. Yeah. This is just
What
like
is that,
high
high
school?
school?
This is like a middle school band.
I know, something's... Give him some credit. Yeah. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
Well, thank you, JD.